We are doing a game. So I'll just type this in ChatGPT, but we're gonna do the tier list game.
Okay. I think I'm aware of it. And S is the top, right? I'm old and white, so I'm not cool. So S is the top, and then got it.
Yes. Top 20. These are according to ChatGPT.
According to ChatGPT, top 20 martial arts for self-defense?
Actually, sorry, it's going to be the top 20 most common martial arts in the world.
Sure.
So,
and where do I rank them? On a tier list, S to F, on their efficacy in self-defense, yes?
In self-defense, so you have to ignore MMA.
Yeah.
So, in 2025, yes, if you just do only Taekwondo and MMA, you're dead.
Yeah.
If you do only Jiu-Jitsu, you're dead.
Yeah, even
look at Kron Gracie.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Right.
You didn't learn any boxing in 3 years.
Fair enough.
You lie because you know I'm true. No, I'm true. All right, are you ready, my friend?
I think so.
And super quick explanation. Self-defense. Here we go. Number 1, according to ChatGPT, it's karate.
Karate for self-defense. So we got F.
So it's
D. I think I put a D tier.
D. Wow.
That will just be just. So I'm not picking on. So I'm using a general assessment of how karate is taught in general, not specific instructors. There's a lot of very good instructors. I put this higher, but in general, karate and taekwondo are more leadership and ethic building programs than they are actual self-defense programs. Karate, like if you watch a karate form, it looks silly unless you put a body in there. Then it's like a blender, right? But people aren't teaching karate as an up-close fighting style. They're teaching as like a long range.
Long ranger, yeah.
So the way it's currently taught, I put it in D.
D. All right, your first martial art, Taekwondo.
So sorry, Taekwondo. Worse than karate. I'm gonna put it for self-defense. Again, not for personality building, not for public speaking, but for like defending yourself. F. Unfortunately. Sorry, guys. Sorry, my first Taekwondo coach. I love you to death. You're different, but in general, terrible.
I'm giving you this because I'm reading this list, and there's ones that are like, you know what? F is the lowest tier, right? So,
I don't know. Maybe
we may have to change this.
Okay, you know what? Let's go. Because I don't know where it goes down to, and I guess F, and I guess S. So we have how many? 20? Okay, let's go karate C, Taekwondo D.
Okay, because there's a few that I know you're gonna give it straight F for
I'll go to G.
And if you give me any less than that, I'm start staring you down in my own house.
Sure.
But anyway, judo, the Olympic one.
Olympic? B.
B?
Yeah, if you can, any kind of wrestling or controlling the clinch art for personal protection is through the roof. Because that's where violence starts in criminal violence, not in sport you're starting, right? We're here. So, and that's where that sudden ambush is going to come. So judo, I put, B for sure.
I like that answer.
And if it's because the joke I like is BJJ is basically just judo. If you add the judo ground rules into it, I would put it A.
Okay, yeah, gotcha. I like that. This is a very general one. Kung Fu Wushu. Yeah, it says Shaolin, Wing Chun, and who knows what those weird quasi things that don't work.
Sure. On average, I'm gonna say D to yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
That's ChatGPT, a little general, but.
Yeah, and again, it depends on your style. Like my buddy Jeff Berger went to China to learn Kung Fu. And when he went, he wanted to learn one style, but the master was like, your body's better for this style. And he got really good at it.
Yeah. But
again, in general, in North America, don't flame me too hard, but in North America, Kung Fu is more traditional, more dance, more cultural. It's not bad, but it's not, you're not going to stop your average street criminal who's aggressively coming at you, maybe with chemicals in their system, with long fists. It's just not going to...
Makes sense.
Right, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you actually mentioned that one point because, a lot of people also don't consider, some styles of any martial arts, it just probably doesn't work for your body type.
Exactly right.
It's if you're really heavy and super stiff, 10th plan BJJ, I'm sorry, this is
not for you, yeah.
Dude, it's not gonna work.
But you're a low center of gravity, judo's gonna be awesome for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, my beautiful sport of BJJ.
So
I have a love-hate relationship with BJJ.
I agree. BJJ is a part of a combative system, it's not a combative system. It's great for control. It's great for learning how to fight on the ground, but it's a piece of the puzzle, not the whole puzzle. So by itself,
C. Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, don't start doing a donkey guard and
Exactly.
street.
Oh, and yeah,
You're an
like
idiot. You're an-
street B2C, like what's happening to tournaments, D to F.
Yeah.
Like a donkey guard
Donkey
is it's like, what are you doing?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You're getting concussed for sure.
Yeah.
Muay Thai.
Muay Thai A to S, because it has the striking capabilities are there. It has a clinch game. The rules kind of get in the way a little bit because like every martial art you take, if you're competing, you're biasing yourself to the rule set.
Yeah.
Right? You're gonna go for that's why Donkey Guard exists. We just picked on it, but it exists because it gets you points.
Mm-hmm.
So for the art, great. Arguably. For self-defense, bad. Muay Thai, amazing striking, distancing, you get a little tougher, plus it has a control game. The only thing it's missing is like a ground game. So that's why MMA does primarily wrestling, Thai boxing, and BJJ, right? There's a purpose for it. So I'm not saying anything groundbreaking here, but I would put it, A.
Hey.
Yeah.
I like that answer. Boxing. Western boxing.
So S to A. And here's why. Most street encounters you're going to run into, one good pop in the mouth, if it's social violence, is going to stop a lot of weaker predators. It's a smaller tool set. You only have so many moves to learn, so you have more time working those moves. Now, obviously, if there was a dirty boxing component with some wrestling or some control and clinch. So yeah, I would put it, actually no, I would put a little bit less than Muay Thai. It depends on how long they're training for. How long are these people training for?
Boxing?
No, I mean like all like straight.
Oh,
if
this
you
is
do
just general.
in general. Okay, so I would let's say, well, I said Muay Thai was A. Let's say boxing is A minus B plus.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. Kickboxing. It's more the European style, K1 style.
Okay. So again, bias for rules, but is there clinch work in that? Are you allowed to do throws and stuff?
Very limited K1.
Okay, let's put it in B.
B.
Yeah.
Wrestling, which includes any form of Greco-Roman, Olympic.
Wrestling, S tier. It's I say this all the time. If you can't control the middle, you can't fight. So if you're a striker and they grab your hand, you can't stop them, you can't fight. If you're a ground fighter and you can't take them down, you can't fight. So wrestling to me is the glue that holds everything together. So that's why I'm so big on judo, but I think like wrestling is with the resiliency and endurance you have to have for it, with the strength and skill capacity, how hard it is. And in general, like wrestling clubs, there's no like, wrestling clubs have a pretty good standard of work ethic where like BJJ or even Muay Thai can kind of spread the gamut of good to bad.
Yeah.
Wrestlers are wrestling and it's hard work. So I think it's S tier stuff.
I agree. And like wrestling, I don't think I've ever seen the McDojo wrestling. Like you can't fake wrestling.
No, it's no. And
you will die.
well, I think the most McDojo can get is like Tai Chi, because Tai Chi is technically a wrestling system, technically. So it's the oldest one. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna disagree on that
Sure.
one. Sure. Oh, here we go. Get ready, Randy.
Okay.
The Steven Seagal, the Aikido.
Oh no! Everybody picks on Aikido, and for good reason. It's definitely F. And it's because like, as we mentioned earlier in the program, just for my consistency, I'm not picking on Aikido because it's bad as a martial art. It's great to learn inner peace and mechanics and whatever. But if you're not pressure testing, if you're not doing resiliency training in some way, you're not going to do it in the real world. You're just not going to, right? It's just like if you box and you only hit the bag, you're also not going to be good either because you don't have the
stress.
If we do, and if we do the eco side of things, you don't have the nested affordances of blocking and footwork and all the things that put it together, right? Like, so hitting a bag, boards don't hit back. I'm going to quote Bruce Lee. Bags don't hit back either.
Yeah.
So we have to have something that's actively trying to do something to us. Aikido, their techniques leverage based is so strong, they say, that you have to jump so you don't break your own wrist. Great. The opponent's not jumping. Right? So it's not, for purely self-defense, it is not good unless you're maybe in feudal Japan.
Yeah, I've only taken like 2 of those classes and like, yeah.
Well, and I think too, like Aikido to me is more of a finishing school than it is a system. It's, you already know how to fight, here's some new cool stuff. But if you just take it by itself, I like to say like karate, kung fu, because you have to remember when these arts came up, these were farm workers who knew what adrenaline felt like, who were strong, who wrestled. Okinawa, everyone's like, why is there no wrestling in karate? In Okinawa, you wrestled all the way through school.
Yeah.
So there's no need to talk about these things. But if you just learn karate by itself without having a wrestling
Good
background, a
wrestling
striking
He's
background,
throwing, yeah.
right, then it's not as effective. So if we're saying isolate, I just learned karate, it's like saying, it's like learning all the physics words, but not understanding how addition subtraction works. Like you can say, you can talk to each other, but when you try and do math, it's just not going to work.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
So same thing with this.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Let's see what left out here. Here's one Krav.
So Krav Maga, people think are going to put an S. It depends. What I like about Krav is this. Krav, it will be A+ to S- because it does address, it's more combatives and self-defense, but it addresses more stuff than anything else. So you have less chance of freezing with those things. The school has to be good, has to be pressure tested, but like you're covering weapons, you're covering multiple opponents, you're covering being on the ground. You're not a specialist, so if you take Krav Maga and you do a BJJ fight, you're going to lose. Your ground stuff is not going to be to the expert level of a BJJ practitioner. But it gives you enough general knowledge that you can problem solve a lot more things.
Yeah.
So I do like it as a self-defense thing. As a learning how to fight thing, a boxer's probably going to take you out. A Muay Thai guy's probably going to take you out. But for street crime and violence against untrained attackers, one of the best.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I thought about that one. It's like, they also include weapons, which is great.
Yes, weapons and multiple opponents need to be included. 40% of people attacked in Canada, there's multiple people involved in the encounter. And 1/3 of all crimes in Canada have either blunt weapons, 1/3, and 1/3 knife. So if you're looking for self-defense and you're not covering that stuff, you're not doing self-defense.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Capoeira.
F. Capoeira is great. You can set up some kicks. It's kind of like a one and done thing, right? It's if you land that wheel kick, you're fine.
Yeah, you're.
But you have to land it. You have to be in good shape. You have to have the space. You're not doing capoeira on an airplane or in an elevator.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Right? And that's like, again, right, when we look at self-defense, the environment can be constrained. Right? It could be a small area. Like if you attack me right now in this living room, I'm not doing capoeira.
Yeah, you can't.
Right? I'm boxing.
Yeah.
Right? Like because it works. That's what I'm saying, right? So when I say this stuff, I'm not pooping on your art. I promise. I'm saying specifically for self-defense in a violent encounter against a criminal, these are what I would rank these.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect. All the way to the east here, combat sambo.
Sambo is crazy.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy.
Combat Sambo has striking in it. I'm going to say S tier.
S tier.
Yeah, they have throws, they have groundwork, they have striking. It's pretty much MMA.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and they're wearing shorts and a
Yeah.
long jacket.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah, you get some jacket wrestling in.
Jacket wrestling, yeah. You like fight your local runner. I'm just kidding. I love the sambo too. Jeet Kune Do.
Jeet Kune. So I am a Jeet Kune Do instructor. It depends on what kind of Jeet Kune Do. So Jeet Kune Do comes in two flavors.
Yeah.
There's what's called, I forget the names, like concepts and foundations. But one is fighting how Bruce Lee fought.
Yeah.
And the other one is taking Bruce Lee's philosophy. If you're trying to fight like Bruce Lee, you're not Bruce Lee, it's bad. F. If you're using the concepts of like progressive attack, indirect movement, and you're layering more stuff on, I would put it in like the low A, high B area.
Okay.
If you're pressure test, it's the same thing with Krav Maga. There's two types of Krav Maga. There's do how Amy Lichtenfield did it in 1920, or follow Amy's thought process of he only made this because they're the only arts he had access to. Same thing with Bruce Lee, very similar. Jeet Kune Do and Krav Maga have very similar growth patterns, right? It was like, okay, we have a charismatic leader, Amy and Bruce Lee. This person's gone now. Now either do we clone this person or do we take their teaching philosophy?
Gotcha.
On the teaching philosophy side, higher. On the clone, lower.
Yeah. Same thing with the whole jiu-jitsu story, the whole branching off.
Yeah.
It's crazy. All right. All the way to France, we got Savat.
Savat, I don't know a lot about Savat. I know it's quick, snappy kicks. It's a kickboxing art, but I think it's a little too specialized for self-defense because you need the room, you need flexibility. And also, like, again, why I said boxing was so good. I'm not going to teach my grandma how to knock out Mike Tyson, but I can teach her to throw her hands a little bit. Getting her on one leg, almost impossible to kick, right? So, because self-defense isn't just for young, fit athletes, it's for the elderly, it's for children, it's for whatever, right? And so, again, take that in a grain of salt in my considerations while you flame me in the comments, that's fine. But Savat, I'm going to have to put it probably DF. Yeah,
okay.
Because it's very specific, like you have to hit like nerve, and it's very technical.
Yeah.
And under stress, that technical stuff kind of falls apart.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the country that invented Sambo
Yeah.
is another thing called
Sistema?
Sistema.
I don't know, man. Sistema people will kill me. So, but I'm not going to change my. Again, I don't know a ton about Systema, but any art that starts with "when the knife is in you" feels a little BSy to me, right? Like, so sorry, Sambo guys. Also, if you know, in the comments, engage. Hate's great too, but as you're engaging in the comments, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, you need to like join the Russian Orthodox Church to get to a higher level in Sambo. So it feels more, or not Sambo, sorry, Systema.
Yeah.
So it sounds more culty to me than anything else.
I didn't know that.
I'm gonna put a DF. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just see what I see on Instagram.
Yes.
This is the land of Samo, man.
And it's a lot of like weird. I'm gonna put an F, not D, just F. Sorry,
It's just-
Sambo.
yeah.
Or sorry, Systema. Sambo, you're great.
Yeah, of course. Salat.
Interesting. So Salat is. So again, like I said, we have to trick to generic Salat. A lot of really cool stuff that people don't realize. A lot of really in close stuff. Their footwork is like no other because it takes into account the vines in the jungle, so their footwork's very big. Great for like stepping over beer bottles in a bar. It's a smaller person's art. They use a lot of sharp. I'm gonna put a B.
B?
Yeah,
Yeah, really underrated one actually.
it is. I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks really cool on film. The Raid. Oh,
Oh man,
love it.
my girlfriend's over there. That's actually one of the first movies that she's like, I want you to put on movies. She puts the Raid, and I was like, oh my god,
So good. Yeah,
it's a lot of guns and stabbing, lots of stabbing.
yeah, that's fair.
Hapkido.
God, we're gonna put it kind of in the same place as Taekwondo.
Okay.
Right? They have a little bit more lock, so it is. Okay, if I put Taekwondo at F, I would put it at D. Because again, the more stuff it incorporates, the more I like the art because it expands more to self-defense, which is a multi-discipline art. I guess system, not art.
Okay. Number 19, ninjutsu.
No. Ninjutsu, I know some very good practitioners in ninjutsu, but most of it's garbage. Most of it's BS. And again, I'm not saying there isn't great instructors out there, but on average, F.
Oh yeah.
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 Though, let me give you, I'm going to move to D. Here's why.
Okay. Over Taekwondo, alright.
Well, they talk about stealth and they talk about evasion.
Okay.
So they actually talk about getting away from an encounter, which is a high self-defense thing. So ninjutsu will give you some props for your smoke bomb shenanigans.
Wow, ninjutsu beat Taekwondo. Wow.
For self-defense. I think a Taekwondo guy could probably beat up a ninja. But,
Oh yeah, no. For
but
sure.
we're not talking fight, we're talking
That-
self-defense.
that
And-
is true.
And if you take into account the fact that they are trying to hide, they are trying to leave, that is more self-defense thought process.
That is fair.
Yeah.
How about kendo?
Unless you got a sword, F. Right? Like,
There
what
you
are you,
go.
what are you gonna do?
We just had to end with kendo there.
Same thing like Filipino martial arts, for example, not on the list, but like,
Yeah, it's not the top 20, unfortunately.
which is
so-
crazy. That's my biggest one. 2 sticks.
Okay, Kali,
Unrealistic.
where do you put Kali then?
So what I like about it is they have a ground system, they have a striking system, they have a weapon system. I also like the fact they try to sell the fact that what you do with the weapons is what you do on the striking, what you do on the ground. Doesn't always overlap that way. But it does, like, day one, you're learning about knives. Day one, you're learning about sticks. Day one, you're learning about multiple opponents, right? It's again, for a self-defense art, I'm going to put it B.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're just going over, but like, I don't know what, I'm surprised ChatGPT didn't put MMA in here.
Yeah, that's crazy. And MMA, so MMA, obviously, like, for mutual combat, for one-on-one, there is nothing better. And like I said, when we talk about self-defense, if you do it long enough, your self-defense course becomes a martial arts course, it's going to look more like MMA. I do not teach MMA. But if you're in my advanced self-defense program, you're punching, you're doing takedowns, you're learning how to get off the ground. So it looks very similar. So MMA obviously is very high. And this is the thing that pisses me off about a lot of people in my industry is they're trying to sell this lie. If you do my self-defense class for 2 hours a week, you're going to beat up a mixed martial artist who does it 3 hours a day. No, you're not. Don't be insane. And I think, again, too, right, because self-defense isn't a martial art. It's more of a safety system. It's about learning physical skills to get out of there if you need to. If you want to learn how to fight, I would change this entire list. But for the purposes of no incident happens, better to be a sneaky ninja than it is to be a taekwondo guy yelling, yeah!
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I'm gonna just throw one more. Just
Sure.
end it because I just did that interview with my friend Nick there.
Yeah.
Wing Chun, specifically just Wing Chun.
I've seen some very good Wing Chun practitioners.
Yeah.
Shout out to Robert Griffin. I don't know if you know him. He's in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. I've heard of him using it in bouncing situations because it's close quarter. But because the system is always pushing forward, that by definition is not self-defense. Right? It's just like when people are like, well, what about BJJ for self-defense? I'm like, you cannot grapple and escape at the same time. right? You can't be trying to create distance while holding. So Wing Chun is very much a like forward-facing art. It's about blasting and beating that person. Good for like a stun and run tactic or sudden violence, but I think long term, I don't think it's the way to move. So, but I would put it like high DD plus C minus.
I think that's a fair score.
Yeah.
I think it's a fair score. So I leave all my guests with one more thing as
Sure.
we conclude the show. Like, what is your general message for the entire world?
No pressure on
No,
that.
no
question.
pressure at all.
If you could take anything out of this other than flaming me for my rankings on martial arts, I think you should take away that self-defense, combatives, and martial arts are different things. This is my message to everybody when I'm teaching, and that the goal of self-defense is no incident happens. So if your training is revolved around setting boundaries, paying attention, then you don't have to get to that physical part, because this is the thing that most self-defense instructors don't say. Size and strength do matter. Luckily, they're not the only things that matter. So train the other things as well, and you'll have a better self-defense strategy. And if you want to beat people up, then go take physical skill set. And that's not wrong, but those are different goals.
Awesome. Well, thank you, sir.
Awesome, thanks for having me.
Enjoy Australia.
I will, hopefully.
Finally got this interview done.
We did it.